River Point, we have always cared deeply about middle and high school students, but it's time to make a huge investment in the next generation in Fort Bend County. Never has there been a generation more at risk than this generation. Students today face daily temptation with drugs, alcohol, sexual immorality, no sense of purpose, very busy schedule, academic pressures, and they question if a relationship with Jesus Christ can really make a difference.
When I first got here in December of 2012, Patrick was telling us that there were 50,000 teenagers, so 50,000 middle school and high school students in Fort Bend County. The number by the year 2017 will be in the 80s, so it'll be in the 80,000 range, just because of the way people are having children. So since 2012, we've actually grown in numbers by 47%. And so what that means is now that we've grown that way, we have to find a place for kids to connect next.
We want to meet middle school students where they are, and if their parents are believers, we want to partner with them to lead their kids to a growing relationship with Christ. We have lots of kids that don't come from a Christian home, and they're on their own when it comes to Christ.
We want to expose them to a relationship with Jesus, help them establish that, and then put them in a relationship with somebody else who's going to help them grow.
Life in high school, it's fun in a way, but sometimes it can get really annoying. It's really stressful with grades. I struggle in school constantly.
Like even with me, like I have so many people pulling me into different directions, like, hey, do you want to go to a party? Or hey, like come join me at church this Sunday.
A lot of my friends do weed and stuff like that.
A good group of my friends are non-believers, and they'll sometimes ask me why.
Falling into like what other people wanted me to do and like all the world's temptations and like materialistic things, like maybe alcohol or smoking, to get in with like the cool crowd, you know. And
Having like sexual immorality, if you ask someone to their face, they're not going to tell you, I'm sexually immoral, you know. It's something that people accept as just a part of how the world is nowadays.
We know students have reached a time in their lives when they begin to ask bigger questions about their purpose in life, bigger questions about God. And we want kids to be in a fun, safe place to process their doubts and find answers to life's questions. And we don't just work in this building. We go into the schools, their football games, band concerts, whatever it might be, any events in their life where we can show up and let them know that we care about them.
There's really 5 big schools that we have a high percentage of kids from, starting with George Ranch, then we would reach into Travis. We also have Austin High School, Clements, Kempner. And so what we try to do is create environments that are going to be irresistible, do our best to provide them an opportunity to connect.
I'm Amy Rutledge. I'm a small group volunteer for the 9th and 10th grade girls. I think they have a lot of issues dealing with social media and probably bullying from other kids on those formats.
There's a lot of peer pressure to make decisions or do things that are not appropriate for where they are in their life.
At school, when our kids leave the house, we don't know exactly, what they're being, how they're being influenced by the relationship they have with other kids.
One day you notice that the good friends weren't good friends, and then they step into things that aren't really where they need to be going.
It's so important for a kid in their development and for a whole family to have a hub and a community that is faith-based.
There's a lot of churches around, but I think that God's really setting us up to be in a unique position where we're going to be able to provide an environment where the relationship with Christ and the relationship with another adult is going to be balanced really, really well. And that's really what I want to see happen. All right, hey guys, my name is Bart Lewis and I'm the student pastor here, and I want to give you a tour of our new student building. So we're going to go right through here. As we walk through, this is our middle school lobby, and as you'll see, everywhere in this lobby is somewhere for you to sit. And the reason why we did that is we wanted to put kids in a place where they could sit down with other people and have conversation. The reason why is because we believe conversation leads to relationships, and so we have all these pockets of seating. So here we go. We are in our middle school venue, and this is where middle school students will come every weekend, and you'll notice video screens. We've got a great sound system, theatrical lighting. All right, now I'm going to show you guys the high school lobby. Come out here. You'll notice also tons of places to sit for our students. We have an amazing pool table. Also right behind me here, I love this space. This is going to be a small group space, but also this will be a place where we can just sit and hang out with students. Now I'm going to take you upstairs, and up here, this is my favorite, personally my favorite part of the facility. Everywhere in here is somewhere to sit. Vintage jukebox, love that. All right, so here we are in my second favorite space, and that's our high school venue. The reason why I'm excited about this is check out this seating area. So we have all the way around the back of the venue, we have these booths that'll seat 8 to 10 people, and the kids are actually loving sitting on top of them as well, which we think is cool. We don't have a problem with that. And then on the floor, we have this sunken floor. We can fit another 80 chairs right down here every single weekend. And then of course the stage, it's where the band is. We have a separate band for middle school and high school, which is super exciting. And then of course you have the production area, and this is the high school room.
I personally like the investment that the church is making because it makes me feel like my children have the same thing that I had.
I love this new resource that we're going to have to be able to minister to kids.
To me, if you can get my kids in an environment where they're growing in Christ, that excites me. I want to come to that church.
Every time I come here, I feel like I can just be myself.
You know, I think it's a great place for me to bring my friends.
And it's just amazing how River Point just cares so much about that ministry.
I'm excited about the new worship center in there.
It's more than just a place to go worship.
It's just a great place for people who are lost.
It's critical for teenagers to have a place where they belong and feel part of a community, a place where they're loved and accepted just as they are.
So once the building's complete and you open the doors for the first time, that's when everything begins. There's a lot of work that goes into getting into this building, and we need leadership across the board, whether it's as simple as running ProPresenter or running sound or doing check-in for us at our guest service area. And there's literally no requirements. If you're breathing and you care, we will give you everything else you need. For me, I think what we'll see happen over the years is that family trees will start to change, because it started with teenagers who didn't just come to church. They actually figured out that God's got dreams for them, that He has something He wants to accomplish through their life.
Thank you, River Point Church, for sacrificing and saying no to yourself so you can say yes to students in our community. Think about this for generations to come. Men and women, husbands and wives, moms and dads will be able to point to this place as the place where they began their relationship with Jesus Christ, and they grew deep in their faith because of this place. This building's a game changer because God's going to use it to change the lives of thousands and thousands of kids. Your faith, your work, your generous giving is exactly what Jesus was talking about when He said, store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Now these students, they're God's treasures, but it's your heart for others, your sacrifice that will make the eternal difference. So thank you. Thank you for caring about others. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for building this building.